Right now, we are standing at Omaha Beach in the Easy Red sector. This is the place where on June 6th of 1944, the 16th Infantry Regiment of the 1st Infantry Division, also known as the Big Red One, made their landing. Each one of the beaches on D-Day have their own unique challenges. You go to Utah Beach, inland from there, the fields were flooded, so it narrows down the exits for the Americans. You go over to places like Sword Beach. There's the highest concentration of German bunkers in that area. Juno Beach, a lot of urban combat. Here at Omaha Beach, the big challenge is the terrain. You have the beach down here below us, and then there's this imposing, I guess you could call it a bluff, that the Americans are going to have to overcome in order to penetrate Hitler's Atlantic Wall. And when you're standing here in a place like this, it really gives you an appreciation for what the Americans had to overcome, because, I mean, you're definitely in a dominant position here. Each one of these Widerstand nests, or these resistance nests, are guarding an exit off of the beach. There were only 5 along Omaha Beach that the Americans had to overcome in order to penetrate this position. So this particular bunker is the twin to another bunker. Each one would have been holding a 75 millimeter artillery piece. And a lot of people, when they come to Normandy, they ask, why, if the invasion is coming from the English Channel, why is the bunker not pointed out in that direction? Why is it pointed off to the side? Well, what the Germans are trying to do is they're, one, trying to cover as much of the beach as they can. So this is offering flanking fire. And also, if your opening is facing the English Channel, well, you have the U.S. and the Royal Navy out there that can drop rounds right into your bunker. So if you look at this kind of a blast wing or a blast wall right here, what this is designed to do is to protect this gun inside of this bunker. So what we're looking at here is a position that is designed to cover as much of this beach as possible.
Do you know how many people would be inside here, JD? Like more than one person, or who?
Yeah. So you would have a team that would be manning this position. As a matter of fact, when we get in here, we can learn a little bit more about how these guns operated. So here on the floor, you can see kind of where the gun could traverse from left to right.
Oh, I see. So these
yeah. So if you look at these tracks, yeah, this is what they would do to move the gun from left to right. You can see right here where it took a direct hit from the Navy.
The good guys?
Yes, from the U.S. Navy. I can't remember what ship was responsible for this. And then some people ask, what these things are right here. When they were building these bunkers, the Germans would take up paper, roll it up, and they would put it into the wet concrete. And what that does is kind of breaks up the silhouette a little bit, breaks up the outline, so it's kind of a form of camouflage. There are other bunkers that you can go to. Crispec Battery is one that I can think of off the top of my head, where you see all of that on the outside. So even though it's dark in here, they, I guess, felt the need to try and, break up their outline a little bit in here.
Interesting. And then back here in these sort of strange...
Yeah, so these little alcoves that you are looking at here, so they might be, I know that these right here are for ammunition storage, and I think that these are ammunition storage as well.
Where would the Germans live? Would they come out? I mean, obviously they were manning this for during the D-Day, but...
Yeah, so they would cycle in and out. There were there were some bunkers that were close by that they would sleep in. That way they could be kind of like a quick reaction force, get here quickly. And then if you go further inland, they would build it in like mansions, people's homes, things like that. They would take it over and stay there.
It's pretty wild to see the view that you get.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a stunning view. And as we're coming out this side, well, here we can actually just walk out here a little bit further. So if you come out, you can see where we're on high ground, and then right over here it kind of drops off, okay, and then it's going to come back up. So these are what were called the draws. Okay, so this is the E3 draw. So the Americans are wanting to land and get their armor and trucks and things like that and use these exits because obviously you can't bring a tank up this bluff. So that's the spot that the Americans want to take and that the Germans are doing everything they can to defend. Right here, this is where the 1st Infantry Division lands. And just off to my left down here, you're going to have men like John Spaulding and Philip Strazak, who are going to come in with the 16th Infantry Regiment. They're going to be followed on by men like Joe Dawson, who was the commander of Company G. And these guys, there's a whole lot of confusion on D-Day, and what these men do is in this chaotic, stressful situation, they kind of rise above that, and they start organizing these men and providing leadership here on the battlefield to get these guys off of the beach. Because for most people, if someone's shooting at you, your impulse is going to be to hunker down. These guys are really instrumental in leading men off the beach and getting them off the bluff. So like Spaulding and Strazak and then Dawson are going to go up here and kind of pop out at where the American Cemetery is today. And then at some point in there, they meet together, they form up a plan. Joe Dawson is going to go on to Colville, and then Spaulding and Strazak, along with the men who are with them, not just them by themselves, are going to kind of go down the bluff and hit another one of the Widerstand nests.
And so a nest like this, you said an interesting fact earlier, it was never taken from the front, that it would have been hit, could have been disabled, yeah. But really the success wasn't coming directly off the beach to the bunker, it was coming off the beach around, yeah, and getting them from behind.
Yeah, here on Omaha Beach, where you really see a lot of the success is in the seams. These American soldiers kind of find these weak points. Germans didn't know that the attack was going to happen right here. So they're trying to guard the entire Atlantic coastline, and they've only got limited men, they've only got limited resources. So these Americans kind of find these points in between the strong points and kind of slip in and then move around. So again, Spaulding and Strazak are going to be doing that. Over on the dog green, dog white sector, you have the leadership of Norman Cota, who is going to be leading them off the beach in one of these seams. It's not a full frontal attack overtaking these strong points. I think when you're talking about Omaha Beach and the misunderstandings that people have, one of the biggest misunderstandings is that the landings here at Omaha Beach were a disaster and that it was just a complete slaughter. Now, the first wave is bad. The second wave is a little bit better. The wave after that is a little bit better. What we find is that by mid-morning, we're making some headway here on the beach, and by mid-afternoon, people are coming off the landing craft and walking onto the beach. So is that a disaster or is that a success? I call that a success. Another misunderstanding that I've found in recent years is there's a tendency to try and assign godlike status to the men who were here. The men who were here were heroes. No doubt about it. I will not take that away from them, and they are worthy of praise. But they were just that. They were men. These were ordinary men who get put into an extraordinary situation and perform some extraordinary actions.